All right.
So yeah, Brett, we are on the still on 69 North, going northbound, north of Lindale, just a few minutes out of downtown. We are looking north at that cloud that you see right there. It's a massive cloud. I mean, you can see it, ominous looking, but still, roads are still pretty clear right now.
So you are north of Lindale right now on 69, headed toward Mineola, and that looks.
That's
like
correct, Brett.
Back to your northeast, so we're seeing the backside of that thunderstorm. All right, so that's great. Thank you very much, Robert. All right, so look at that cloud there that you see there, and we'll go back to radar. So what Robert's essentially seeing is the backside of this cloud here. So there is somewhat of a lower edge to this. So there's definitely some colder air that is dropping down in that cloud. So a pretty good thunderstorm right now. All right, let's go back to the north. We'll leave this thunderstorm right now as it is just a thunderstorm warning currently to this tornado warned storm again. If you live in Mount Pleasant, Mount Vernon up toward Talco, hopefully you are taking your precautions over toward Wilkinson and Argo. Again, we continue to see what the cell that's trying to wrap up here. It's ingesting this very warm spring-like air. I mean, the dew points out there, as I showed you just a few minutes ago, we're sitting at about 73. Those are May-like numbers. Sometimes those are summer-like numbers. Remember, this is November 4th, and we're seeing spring-like or severe season-like humidity across the area, and it's just one of the ingredients that you would need to fuel severe thunderstorms like we're seeing tonight. The other component would be the clash of air masses, and I just showed you a few minutes ago how it's 77 here, but it's 59 out at Lubbock. So there is a huge temperature contrast across the area, and of course winds are created by temperature contrasts or pressure differences, and so the winds likely are increasing aloft due to the strong pressure and temperature differences between here and West Texas. All right, we just got a little bit of a stronger updraft on that cell toward Talco and toward Wilkinson. It was showing some rotation a little while ago. It looks like it went away and now it's trying to re-strengthen again. And sometimes these thunderstorms will do what we call recycle. And so as they recycle, they sort of, as an engine would do, exhaust some of that energy and then pull back in more energy. And sometimes they can spin a little bit stronger. But we currently still have that tornado warning that we cannot clear Mount Pleasant or Daphne out of yet. So if you live in those areas, please, I hope you are in your safe place at this time. Tornado warning goes until 5:45. We also have that severe thunderstorm warning, and that red area that you saw pop back over top of that, that is the tornado watch that is also in effect. All right, so there's Mount Pleasant. You're just sitting outside of that. There's Bogata, just to the northwest of both the severe thunderstorm warning and the severe or the tornado warning at this time. So if you live towards Sulphur Bluff, Cunningham, Bogata, I would say you are okay where you are. There's no need to take shelter at this time. Cookeville, keep watching that storm. We'll continue to watch this area with this stronger ingest coming into the storm. So it has good inflow. It looks like it has a pretty decent updraft that has strengthened here in the last few minutes. I would think anywhere near Wilkinson to the southeast. Savannah, let's go down to the southeast of Wilkinson here, right in that area toward Argo, and see if there's any type of indication that there might be something trying to strengthen in that area. Any of the county roads out in here toward Argo, if you live between Argo and say up to the northwest toward Mount Pleasant or just northwest of Argo, then let's take this off here so we can, what do we have here? There's Talco, and right in here we have Maple Springs, that's right. So Maple Springs, between Argo and Maple Springs right now, right in here. So that's going to be our area of concern, at least on reflectivity. If we switch over to our wind tracker, we may not be able to see a whole lot. Remember, our radar out of Shreveport is shooting at this point. I mean, you're shooting a couple thousand feet in the air. And so if this thing is a low-level rotation closer to the ground, it's not going to see it. It's going to overshoot it. So that's why we're switching back and forth between these different modes of radar, trying to give you a better indication of what we're seeing. We're coming up here on 5:20. We got about 25 minutes to go on this tornado warning. That also includes Franklin Morris, not Red River. Red River's in the severe thunderstorm warning. They were in a tornado warning. They were dropped. And then Titus County is also in that severe thunderstorm warning with the black lines across it, meaning that it is capable of producing a tornado. And then the Weather Service went ahead and issued that tornado warning on it. We have not seen what we call the box or the polygon. It has not shifted to the northeast. So for the time being, you still have that tornado warning for those same cities that we came on the air with and issued. So we just started the 5 o'clock news. We were into first weather. We were talking about the storms, and then all of a sudden, we started to see, and then Savannah Hale came in, said that tornado warning had been issued, and this is where we stand right now. Let's see, I'm trying to find out from the Weather Service if there's anything new that is coming out from the Weather Service, and they're not, and some internal discussions about this storm ongoing currently within what we call the Slack channel that broadcast media, emergency managers, and the Weather Service communicate with to track storms. Again, just looking at this would be where I would be of most concern. So back to the southwest of that, back southwest of Mount Pleasant, I would be okay, but this area here just looks like it's trying to hook up a little bit. If we get a hook echo signature there, sometimes that would be where the inflow is, and then we would get the fast winds rushing out. And also sometimes you'll get outflow from this part of the storm. And what's happening is this part of the storm, the downflow of the winds, I'm gonna call it a downburst, but the air that's flowing out, the colder air out at the head of the thunderstorm gets pulled back inside right in this area here, and then it gets circulated up into the clouds, pushed back down. The heavier, more dense air gets pushed back out, and so there's where that possible rotation could be. Even though the Titan indicator would ingest the strongest part of the updraft is to the north and to the northwest, just east of Tauco. Again, this is going to be in Titus County right now. The main part of this storm is in Titus County. So let's leave this where it is and go back down to the severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in place in Smith County. And we have another area of rotation beginning to show up on that Smith County storm, and they have the lines that are currently going through it with the potential for the tornado warning in place. So severe thunderstorm warning till 5:45 for Smith County. This is also going to be in effect for parts of Upshur County and southeastern Wood County. Savannah, and this just got a little bit stronger, so let's stay with this just a little bit longer as that updraft just strengthened, and we just got a new radar sweep through, and you can see how the storm kind of moved up to the northeast. Savannah, let's ping in on this part of the storm. There may be some hail also now coming in with that, with the strengthening updraft southwest of Winona. That storm will track it, put a cone on it, and give you an idea of where that's headed. Likely toward Gilmer, toward Hawkins, up toward Wilkins, and in those directions there. While she does that, is there any way we could take a look outside from our CBS19 studio camera and just get an idea of what it looks like? Okay, this is going to be over top the studio. This is looking up to the north. It looks like the sky is brighter to the east and darkening off to the west. So likely where our camera is pointed is seeing part of that cell as it moves away from, let's say, this is going to be the part of, right in the center of the screen is going to be 110. And then to the right of the screen, you're going to be looking out toward 31 to the west of the screen, back toward, closer, I'd say, looking back west toward Lindale, back toward Swan, back toward Mineola. But certainly some ominous clouds out there at this time. All right, let's go back to radar. We have the latest track on this. Again, so this is a strengthening updraft, maybe some hail in this cell. So if you live in Winona, 527, watch out for some hail. Let us know if you have any reports of some quarter-sized hail or larger. Big Sandy, Gilmer about 554 on up toward Pittsburgh at about 614, and Kaysen around 623 as this continues moving northeast roughly at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. All right, so that's what we have right now. Let's go back up to that tornado warned storm for the time being, and we may just reset everything and go to CBS nightly news here in a minute, because this tornado warning right now has just been that. It has been radar indicated and nothing that we're seeing on the ground at this time. So again, we currently have that severe thunderstorm warning in Smith County, but this tornado warning here in Titus County beginning to move out of the area. There is the circulation, but that is about ready to move into Red River County and out of our area. So We will take a break. We will send it back to CBS Evening News for meteorologist Savannah Hale. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. Have a great evening. We'll be back on for CBS 19 News at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Alrighty, we'll be right back. Stay with us.